The Galactic Council had ruled for over 80,000 standard cycles. Empires rose, expanded, fractured, and faded beneath its watchful presence. Species with crystalline minds, distributed neural swarms, plasma-based intelligences, and flesh-and-blood civilizations all bowed, sooner or later, to its authority. The Council did not rule through constant war, it ruled through precedent, regulation, and a quiet, terrifying truth. No civilization that openly defied the Council had ever survived long enough to be remembered clearly. Humanity was supposed to be no different. They were catalogued as a Class 7 deathworld species, dangerous, yes, adaptive, certainly, creative to a reckless degree, but still young, still bound by crude physics, chemical propulsion in their early space age, nuclear fear etched deeply into their cultural memory. They were not supposed to understand dark matter. And they were certainly never supposed to build warships out of it. The first alarm sounded during a routine council session. High Arbiter Veltrax of the Thoraxi Fold paused mid-sentence, his multi-jointed limbs stiffening as a signal tone echoed through the chamber. The sound was ancient, reserved for events classified as impossible. Clarify, Veltrax commanded. The central holocore flared to life. Data streams cascaded across the chamber walls. Star charts twisted, updated, recalculated. A junior analyst spoke, voice trembling. Unknown fleet detected at the edge of Council-controlled space. Entry vector, human origin. Murmurs rippled across the chamber. Humans had been monitored since their first faster-than-light breach. They were noisy explorers, aggressive traders, irritatingly bold diplomats, but their fleets were small, conventional, steel and composite hulls, fusion drives, rail cannons, dangerous only in numbers. Quantity? Asked Councillor Sharon of the Valari Dominion. The analyst swallowed. 7 vessels. A ripple of amusement followed. 7 ships did not concern the Galactic Council. Then the analyst continued. Mass readings inconsistent with observable matter. Gravitational distortion exceeding known thresholds. Sensors cannot resolve hull geometry. Silence fell. Veltrax leaned forward. Repeat. The analyst's mandibles clicked nervously. The ships appear to be constructed around stabilized dark matter lattices. The word dark matter echoed like a death knell. Dark matter was the scaffolding of the universe, invisible, untouchable, lethal. Every advanced civilization knew of it. None could manipulate it beyond theoretical models and minute containment experiments that inevitably ended in disaster. None, until now. The fleet emerged fully into Council space without the usual flare of hyperspace rupture. They simply appeared. 7 vast silhouettes outlined not by light, but by absence. Stars behind them bent and stretched, distorted by impossible gravitational forces. Sensors screamed contradictory readings. Mass without mass, shape without surface, presence without reflection. At the center of the formation drifted the largest vessel. Designation translated automatically across Council systems. HWS Nightfall Sovereign. The name alone caused discomfort. Council fleets mobilized instinctively. Thousands of warships powered weapons, shields, and formation protocols older than many species present. Yet none advanced. Because the human ships did not move aggressively. They waited. On the bridge of the Nightfall Sovereign, Admiral Elena Korsakov watched the galaxy's greatest armada hesitate. Signal sent? She asked calmly. Yes, Admiral, replied her tactical officer. Open channel, universal translation active. The comm system chimed. High Arbiter Veltrax appeared as a towering, segmented figure of obsidian and gold. Human representative, Veltrax said, voice controlled but strained. You have entered restricted Council space with unauthorized military assets. State your purpose. Admiral Korsakov met his gaze without blinking. We're here to deliver a message. Your vessels violate multiple cosmic stability accords, Veltrax replied. Dark matter manipulation is forbidden. Korsakov nodded slightly. We know, that's why we're here. Humanity's journey to dark matter mastery had not been quick, nor easy. It began, as many human breakthroughs did, with fear. When humanity joined the galactic community, they learned a sobering truth: the Council maintained peace by limiting technological growth. Entire branches of physics were locked behind treaties enforced with annihilation. Dark matter was one of them. The council claimed it was for everyone's safety. Humans listened. Humans smiled. Humans researched in secret. They had grown up on a death world where survival demanded ingenuity. They had split atoms while still fighting wars with bullets. They had turned radiation into power and gravity into equations. When told something was impossible, humanity heard a challenge. Decades passed. Then centuries. Human scientists discovered something others had missed. Dark matter did not need to be contained. It needed to be convinced. Through quantum resonance fields and probability anchors, they learned to shape dark matter not as solid hulls, but as obedient shadows bound to human will. Dark matter that reinforced spacetime instead of tearing it apart. Dark matter that absorbed energy, redirected force, and bent reality around itself. The first prototype ship vanished for 3 days. When it returned, its crew reported something extraordinary. They had felt protected. As if the universe itself had wrapped around them. Back in the council chamber, panic simmered beneath forced composure. You risk destabilizing entire star systems, Veltrax said. Withdraw immediately. Admiral Korsakov folded her hands. No. That single word hit harder than any weapon. We have complied with council law for 200 years, she continued. We paid tariffs, accepted inspections, restricted our research, and still, council fleets encroached on our borders, council sanctions throttled our colonies, council peacekeeping forces fired first. She leaned forward. We learned your language, you only respect strength. The holocore flared again. New data streamed in. Dark matter emissions spiked. Council sensors went blind. One by one, their targeting systems failed. Shields flickered as gravitational constants shifted unpredictably. The human ships had not fired. They had merely existed. Counselor Sharon whispered, they're rewriting local physics. A technician shouted, weapon lock impossible, energy weapons dissipating before discharge. Another voice cried, missile guidance collapsing, trajectories unstable. Veltrax felt something unfamiliar coil within his ancient mind. Fear. Human, he said carefully, what are your demands? Korsakov's voice softened. We don't want war. That made it worse. We want equality, an end to technological suppression, open research accords, no more secret exterminations of civilizations that advance too fast. Veltrax recoiled. You accused the council of. We have records, Korsakov interrupted, recovered ruins, genetic echoes, entire species erased because they asked the wrong questions. She gestured subtly. These ships are proof of what happens when curiosity survives. The council attempted a show of force. 3 battle groups advanced, weapons charging. The Nightfall Sovereign shifted position. Not by moving. Space around it curved. The advancing fleet slowed, then froze, caught in a gravitational eddy that did not crush them, but held them gently, like insects in amber. Human targeting systems remained offline. They didn't need them. Release them, Korsakov ordered. The gravitational field relaxed. The council fleets drifted back, shaken but intact. That, Korsakov said quietly, was a warning. Across council space, the news spread faster than light. The council could be challenged. Not by overwhelming numbers, but by understanding the universe better than it did. Humanity had not built dark matter warships to conquer. They had built them to ensure they would never again kneel. Veltrax conferred silently with other high arbiters. Ancient minds weighed millennia of dominance against the undeniable truth hanging before them. You have forced our hand, Veltrax finally said. The council will revise the accords. A ripple of shock passed through the chamber. Humanity, Veltrax continued, will be granted full research sovereignty. Admiral Korsakov allowed herself a small smile. Good. The human fleet began to withdraw. As the Nightfall Sovereign faded from sensors, Veltrax realized something chilling. Humanity had sent 7 ships. Not their entire navy. Not even a significant fraction. Just enough to make a point. In the centuries that followed, the galaxy would change. Suppressed sciences bloomed, forgotten species were remembered, the council transformed from ruler to mediator. And whenever a young civilization asked how the balance shifted, historians told them the same story. Of the day shadows arrived in the stars. Of the day humanity proved that the most dangerous force in the universe was not dark matter. It was a species that refused to stop learning.